Welcome, welcome.
What's up, everybody?
How's it going? Hey, well, welcome to ELVTE. This is our second episode, and we are so excited to have our special guests today. DJ David Michael from New York, and we've got Curtis Atchison of Midnight Society. Are you excited, Marco?
Yeah, so excited. Man, welcome everybody on Facebook, on Twitch, on YouTube. Welcome, guys. This is episode 2, which is also a part 2 because today we continuing the conversation with the Quad Squad with the males. Last week we had the females and it was fun. It was engaging and a lot of laughters. So we're going to continue that. I already see it's getting busy up in here. Adam Has a Beat is in the house.
Yes.
What's up, Mark DeMarco? Nice to see you guys. DJ Felicia Villani in WeHo. What's up? She's a heavy Twitcher too. So yeah, man, it's really exciting. We want to give back to the community by engaging conversations. And there's a lot of people out there that don't know much about the Twitch world or the DJ world or whatever world it is that we're talking to. So it's really exciting to all come together and conversate. And with no further ado, we have our friends in the green room raiding with cocktails sponsored by Interior Illusions. No, they're not. But here they are, guys. Random virtual applause, please.
Yes, here they are.
Hello.
How you guys doing?
What's up, everybody? How are you, boys?
Doing great. How are you?
Doing good.
Awesome.
Very good. I see the Booty Lounges in the house representing strong. We love that.
House à la Boutoir, yes.
The house à la Boutoir. In my version, I said yesterday, the house from behind.
Wow.
So that would be
That works too.
the house from behind, the back corner house. David Michael, what's up, my friend? You're in New York, correct?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here.
Amazing.
Nice.
Very happy to have you guys here. So, you guys watched last week, right? With the girls.
Yeah, they were there.
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Saw some
you were
comments
there. So
flying.
it was. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun with the girls just to get them to know and hear their point of view of streaming and being a woman in the business. That's for us not to understand. I feel like that kind of struggle, and also for a straight woman in the business, when you play them in the LGBTQ community, I mean, that's a whole different ball game because you probably have a very different kind of network. It's not easy. I feel like if you're a lesbian, it's probably easier. What do you guys think?
Why would I ever think it would be easier for a woman in any of these industries? Like, no way in heck.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a male-dominant... I mean, anywhere you look, I mean, it's such a male-dominated field. So, like, I can only imagine... I can't fathom what it would be like for, like, a woman to have to go through that pressure. You know what I mean? Because it's like you in the straight community, you already have people, like, thinking that, oh, you're just a woman, you're just doing this for the sex, to this, to that, or whatever it is, and they're already devaluing you before you even get up there to play. And I'm sure there's a lot that's gonna be the same thing in the street, in the gay community as well. So, like, I really would.
How did you feel about giving? I mean, who started the Quad Squad? First of all, I just wanted to say that's great.
Well, I think the best way to say this is, like, I just started streaming again. Like, I've been streaming, like, for a long time, but I was doing it on and off. Yeah. I started streaming in March. Mm-hmm. When I started doing it, Susan Estera saw what I was doing, was like, hey, what's up? What's going on with all this stuff? And of course, like, I had no problem showing her. It's like, I'm using OBS, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I showed her a few things. She took it and ran a mile. And you see exactly what she's doing. She just blew up with what she's doing with the lights and the underground. So then we worked together as a duo. Then David Michael came on board, making it a triple. And we were calling ourselves the trifecta at that time. Uh-huh. Went from the double play to the trifecta, and then Deanne came in afterwards, and then that made it the Quad Squad. She came up with the name. I was like calling it the Quadrifecta because I figured, why not? But sometimes the girls are much better at coming up with brand names than I am.
How's it feel like working with women in the industry, David? I mean, like, how often do you see women DJs in New York? A lot, right? I mean, except in other places in the country, it just does not happen that way.
I actually I don't see it often in New York. I mean, there's a few female DJs that have residencies at some of the bars that I work at, but
Hmm.
there's actually not a lot. And I have to agree with Curtis on a lot of what he said. I think especially the lesbian bars. I mean, there's not as many lesbian bars in the city
Hmm.
anyway, and I think it's just um, I would like to see more female DJs, doing what we do. I would like to see an equal balance, but I I don't see as many female DJs in this industry, at least what we're doing in the gay bars
Yeah.
And
in New York here.
with that being said, I think from what I see is like mostly female DJs also, and I didn't know that. Especially the lesbian scene, the girls said that there's a lot of hip hop and a lot of top 40, right?
Hmm.
So, I mean, that maybe is also a reason why we don't see so many female DJs because I'm just saying like the house scene, right? Of course, there's also a top 40 scene and the bars and everything, but I know some girls who play it all. There's in Denver, Tatiana Feigenblatt, who's big in her community, right? I don't think she plays that much in the male scene that is heavy male, but she's very diverse. And then here we have at the Abbeys, Donna Montel, who does who's very big in the city here. She knows everywhere. She probably doesn't travel that much. I don't know.
Kimberly S too.
Right, exactly. So and I feel, but though they are like this hybrid of top 40 and the genre that we created called circuit music, and so I feel it's probably also depends on which genre you play and that specific scene if you get accepted. I mean, Deanne and D, they're full on after hours everywhere, and it's so great to see. But I agree, we need more females.
Yeah.
We definitely need more females in the industry.
Here, here.
Oh
Right.
yeah, definitely,
I agree.
absolutely. I mean, the one and only time I had a chance to do a lesbian night, I mean, and I was when they asked me, I was just like, are you sure you want me doing this? I mean, I'm not a lesbian, obviously. And then, I mean, at that point, I do know a lot of the,
No.
not at all. But I really I learned very quickly that like there a lot of the DJs were open format, and I'm definitely more of a house DJ. I mean, I have all the different types of music,
You
but
definitely
when
are.
I get up there and play, I'm not really doing my hip hop set. I'm not really doing my alternative rock set. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm playing house. So I was a little nervous actually trying to do that one party. I was like, they might boo me.
Yeah.
Now, David Michael, is it
Yeah.
correct? You play a lot of pop, right? You also have
I
that
do.
that niche. You come from that world, which is so foreign to me, and it's so interesting because honestly, like a lot of people have asked me with the background that I had about like, why don't you do the top 40? Why don't you do the bars? Why don't you do these
The
gala
Kylie
events?
and-
You would
yeah.
be killing it. I am terrified of the thought not playing four on the floor because I don't even know what it entails to mix that.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting because people think a DJ is a DJ. No. That's a whole different skill to play open concept,
Different techniques and everything. Yeah.
different techniques, and I just the thought of it is so terrified. That's why I respect people that play it correctly or innovatively and not just with a fade in fade out, but it's amazing. So where do you play in New York? What is your residencies?
I play at the Ritz Bar. I play at Monster Bar. I actually I just got started again at Evolve Bar, which is actually where my first gig was,
Oh, nice.
almost 7 years. So it was interesting to have that gig at the very beginning and then come back into the bar in a separate format. But it's interesting because when I got started on Twitch, I was doing a lot of the pop and radio edits and even some pop remixes. But then I learned, the community on Twitch it's so much broader than that. It dives into the house, it dives into melodic, and I've taken a turn, and I still do play some pop, but I've really kind of changed and branched out, which has been amazing.
Yeah. We do that as artists a lot, I would say I've changed a lot as well, and the whole pandemic, I feel like, has changed everybody. Like, changed our thought process, changed how we've had to literally adapt to survive. Look at us, we're all on Twitch now, So yeah, Marco, you were going to say something?
Well, two things. Maybe the word changed, I would exchange with let go. We let go of these things. People don't want to listen to this. People don't want to listen. I can't play this because of that. And I feel like because we didn't change, I'm sure none of us changed. Oh, I'm not going to play this because I have to play that. That's in our core. We love to play that, but we were just we never allowed ourselves to do so because we didn't have a platform, right? And that's what I find so beautiful on this Twitch thing, and to get to know people. David Michaels, I never met you. I didn't even heard of you before Twitch, right? And now if I would see your first three Twitch streams and you play pop music, I would be like, okay, he's that kind of DJ. Great.
Right.
Little do I know that you have an exquisite taste in melodic techno. Because your Mondays I find so good. And it just proves that we shouldn't judge a book by what we see, by its cover, because there's so many layers that we just don't show as artists. And it's just amazing to see. Absolutely. So, yeah.
I feel like it's all fodder. It's all fodder for these promoters who are looking for new talent for when this pandemic is over.
Right.
Mm-hmm. We hope.
Absolutely.
I hope so too.
I mean, I really think for me the key word is experimentation, because when we get these venues and we get these clubs and these parties that we have to spin, you talk with the promoter. It's usually a party that's already established, so you already know that you're going into it and they're expecting a certain sound, a certain style. And the good thing about Twitch is that we don't have any of that. It's just us, and we basically have a blank canvas and we can put whatever we want on there. Mm-hmm. So we may go in there starting off doing the things that we normally would do. I started off, I was doing mostly my, deeper tribal and deeper house and stuff like that, because I'm kind of known for that type of stuff. But I quickly was like, oh, I can play whatever the heck I want, especially when other people who I didn't even know just stumbled upon the stream, and I realized these are a bunch of melodic DJs, or these are a bunch of tech house DJs. Mm-hmm. And
and do you change what you play based on, say, who raids you? Because I know for a fact that you've been raided by Gabriel and Dresden a few times. So do you change to trance? Do you play more harder techno? What do you do when someone raids you that you find is a whole new audience?
I do, when the numbers start going up, I do notice myself playing harder. Uh-huh. Now that can be more tech house to techno.
Or you just getting excited.
More of the harder progressive or something like that. Yeah, it's energetic. I still have a video clip of it. The first time Gabriel and Dresden raided me, I had no idea what was going to happen, because they love to do that stuff on surprise. And then I just saw my viewer count go from 15 to 20 people to over 450 people.
Damn.
And to see that huge rush of people coming into you, that's adrenaline. I went absolutely bonkers. I was like, oh yeah, I'm pulling out the hard stuff now. We're bagging beats. We're going crazy.
I just have to call out my grandmother, who's in her late 80s, is watching, so no one say anything inappropriate.
Hello.
Is she on Twitch?
She is on Twitch, guys. That is amazing. I love it.
That is awesome.
You see where I get it from.
Hi, Nanny. Hi, Nanny.
Amazing.
Anyway, sorry. So
that is amazing. I wish we could call her in to get the tea and the spills on Joshua D.
Oh, she'll give it to you. Trust me. Anyway, so yeah, I have never been rated by quite a large, Twitch streamer as that. but I can't imagine that would basically give you a boost in like, oh, I'm going for 6 more hours, girl. You know, but
Oh, easily.
yeah. Susan Acera was also one who's been rated by those guys. Dave,
Right.
you know, he's amazing, and he always looks for like these, you know, either somebody who he's never rated before. He asks his community. He asks like, you know, who should we raid? You know, don't go and tell them. Don't tip them off. And it's so funny, and it's just, it gives me chills having like these DJs who you see on these big huge platforms, you know, festivals, rating you. Your stream is just like, wow.
That is amazing.
Yeah. What's funny is like they have like this whole crew of people. They call themselves the Quarantine, and that's how that was like my gateway in. I had no idea what was going on, but it was this group of kids who were hitting up a new Twitch stream every time a stream ended, and they went on for 100 days straight between their community and like a Discord, going from one party to one stream to the next stream to the next stream to the next stream, and I always thought that was the coolest thing.
Girl,
and it turned out
that had been done. That's called a circuit party, okay?
Yeah, I know. It's an online circuit party. That's basically that's what it was for 100 days. They literally went on for 100 days. But then I learned, okay, the Quarantine people found me, and I connected with them because they were just a whole bunch of cool kids. But then I found out that they always used Club Quarantine, Gabriel and Dresden's stream, as like a place to stop at. Like no matter where they're going, when he goes on, they go there.
Interesting.
So when like the one time I decided, like early on, like I finished my show and I rated Gabriel and Dresden because I learned that they were on. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be the cutest place for after hours. So I went over there and rated them with like 10 or 15 people. I caught their attention because they're like, who are you guys? And I go, oh, hi. And I had no idea that's how it was all connected, but I found out after the fact. It was actually really cool.
It's and that's another aspect of Twitch that I love and everybody loves is the community and camaraderie that is going on there and the give and take. I think Curtis, you told me or somebody, I don't know if I did it, but there's a guy, this Twitcher called Harmony. So I follow him, and he's this lad from England, plays techno and melodic, and I was on a stream, and I just said I liked the track. I was like, hey, kudos, really nice track. Could you not, he sent me then after his stream a message because he saw that I'm a streamer, a personal DM just to thank me and just be like, hey, thank you so much for being on the thing. It's so cool. I'll make sure I'll check yours out. And just that support, because we all know that every viewer counts and every raid counts in order to get more people and exposure. It's just so cool. It's just a good feeling. It's just a good feeling.
Right.
Well,
I love it.
But David, Michael, so how do you like go into your streams a little bit? Like, talk to me about your scenes. How do you set up, and what is your inspiration for some of these backdrops that you have?
Well, I like to change it up. Mondays I do. You're talking about the green screen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mondays I tend to. I don't know. I like to. Because Mondays I do more melodic and deeper sounds. I like to create like some type of ambient background, and most of them are actually YouTube rips or video loops that I find. And then Thursdays and Saturdays being a little more energetic, I like to create some kind of visual background, and then obviously I have my visual loops that I dive into here and there.
Nice. I do. I I mentioned to you in our tech rehearsal, like I liked your background with like I think it was like during Christmas time sometime, like you were in like a log cabin. I was like, that was my favorite. That was the best one.
Warm and cozy nights with David Michael.
And the dead cat.
Everybody, that's right.
Cat.
Everyone kept pointing out to me, they're like, will you check on the cat? Can you make sure she's okay? Literally the whole time.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
That is brilliant.
I want to open it up to our viewers as well, all 30 something of you, almost 40 of you. And I want to say, give us your questions. I'm going to I'm watching the comments come through, and if you guys have any questions for our guests, DJ Curtis Atchison, make Midnight Society, or David Michael, feel free to let me know, and I will throw them up on the screen for them.
And since we are on the topic of setups, and we've got something. Well, Curtis made something for us, because I was always very, very curious, because to me, he's like the master of streaming, and all these different camera angles. They give little things away, but we all like a little sneak peek. We all have a little spy voyeur thing. So we've asked Curtis if he would give us and all the Twitchers and all the viewers a little tour, what it takes to put Drum Nation up and Mainframe and in the Booty Lounge. So with no further ado, here's a little sneak peek. And Curtis, if you would be so kind and just walk us through. Narrate and walk us through your setup.
Okay, sure. Why not? Believe it or not, I mean, it looks a lot flashier than what it really is. I mean, I do have a lot of quick cams. I have about 4 or 5 of them, and they're like Velcroed to the ceiling in various areas. And I run cables here and there, so you can actually see the different angles. They're all connected to a computer that handles all of my scene switches and things like that. And I use an automatic scene switcher to go back from one to the next. And that takes away a lot of the time for me from having to physically switch each camera angle here and there. I can let the computer do most of all that work.
Right.
That makes things a lot easier.
I like the clock.
Yep. I've had that clock forever.
I like the Lauryn Hill vinyl.
The cool thing about this is, like, a lot of the stuff that you see, I've been collecting gear for over 20 years. There's a lot of old stuff in here. In fact, one of the setups where I just use for an extra monitor has like an old laptop that I got from 2001, and it still boots. So I figured I could turn it on, I can plug in something through USB and use it for a little effect. And all these things are just run into a couple of computers on the side of my DJ console, which I just showed you right there. That's why it always looks like I'm like looking to the left. There goes the camera like right behind my head. And I use a lot of strip lighting. LED strip lighting is your friend. Let me remind you that LED strip lighting is your friend, and it's really cheap. And you can really do a lot of really interesting effects with it. I got that DJ mixer is like a major piece of the setup as well, and it's a really expensive mixer. It's the Pioneer SVM 1000, but I got really, really lucky and felt like the most amazing deal on it. There'd have been no other way I would have bought it otherwise, because like you would still have to spend like $3,000 to get it used, but like I got it for like literally $500.
Wow.
Wow.
I got very
you can't
lucky.
Say no. You can't say no to that.
No.
Exactly.
Well, no.
Because it does video and everything. Like I have a couple of DVD players connected to it, and I can use that to spit out video. I even have a computer connected to that as well, so I can get video images from that and throw that into the mixer, affect it, and throw it to OBS. It's
everybody's been asking me about my visuals lately, and I would never have been able to do it until I asked Curtis about his visuals, and he uses something called Resolume. So this is like a kind of expensive software, but I mean it's totally worth it in my opinion.
Oh yeah, Resolume is kick-ass. It's a couple $100 to have, but I think it's actually absolutely worth it. And I mean, I'm just scratching the surface of it with the effects. Joshua, you look like you've really dived into it, and I'm looking at some of your stinger effects and other things. You really like tore that program apart. I'm really impressed.
Thank you. I mean, it's like I told you before, I really want to get a MIDI controller to have on the side of my my decks, right? It's just, it's so much work and so much money and so much everything. Like I can't imagine like how people are doing some of these things on Twitch. Like I'm just like pulling my hair out when I look at some of these really established Twitch DJs who are like have like 700 people watching them, and I'm just like, first of all, how, and second of all, like, you know, which like My mom and
Like,
my grandma
literal-
are watching the stream, so I can't say what I would normally say. But whose do I have to suck in order to get 700 people, to watch my stream? Damn it! Anyway, but
I kind of feel like that a lot of us, like, we got into the game last year. When I realized, when I finally started doing Twitch, I realized like I had set up an account back in 2018 and never used it. But I have a good friend who's been on Twitch for like the last 2+ years, and he was trying to get me on Twitch for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot with it. We were kind of late getting into that game. I felt like I was late getting into that game because there were so many DJs who were already there.
Yeah.
You had labels like Ajuna Beats who were already there doing festivals, online festivals, and getting like 10,000 viewers. Like there was already a really big DJ community on there before I even stepped in and decided to do my first stream. So when I realized that, I figured like, oh God, I have a lot to learn. I have a lot to start connecting to. So that's when I started diving in.
A lot of people in
What
our
else are we
industry.
gonna do?
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Marco.
No, go for Josh, please.
I was just gonna say, no, I feel like our industry, the LGBT, the circuit scene, is not ready. Like I don't feel like they're willing even to do some of these things that are needed.
That's exactly what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That's exactly what I wanted to say. I feel why it is harder for us is that probably a lot of these people that play in the broadband of electronic music, right? Because I feel like there's electronic music and then there's the LGBTQ niche. We are not, let's say, that established in that or have that kind of following to give that numbers, right? Because that's a bigger world, because I feel our world is just hearing about Twitch, but they're not really interested in Twitch because they still think Twitch is a gamers only. And you guys know that it's really hard to convert viewers from Facebook or YouTube or Instagram to come over to Twitch. It's really, really hard. People don't want to do that extra push button. They want it immediately there, and the attention span is slower. So that's why I feel like it takes us a longer time to build, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I totally agree.
we have a question, and Curtis, will you be playing New York when virus stuff is over?
I hope so. My main thing with New York, I mean, I will most likely find a new location to bring back my mainframe party, because that's where the mainframe started. I mean, I started that back in 2006, and hopefully I'll be able to find a new venue for that, and then we'll be able to continue to do that either monthly or bi-weekly or whatever it is. That'll be the first thing. As for any other venues, hopefully there's some people out there who kind of like me, and then we'll see what goes on from there.
I raise my hand. Me.
Us.
Where can I apply for a back-to-back, please? Where can I apply?
That would be awesome.
Would love to do it. I absolutely love doing things like that. I mean, that's kind of like what we do at Mainframe too. I mean, we get to DJs. I do like a small opening set. I have the guest DJs play, and I always leave like some time towards the end so that we can all just like tag team and go. We'll go 2 for 2, 3 for 3, or just play a record each and just go back and forth.
Yeah.
It's always tons of fun. So
Amazing.
So
That's
actually,
awesome.
that actually leads into the next question we've got, and that is from Timothy Callahan. David Michael, who's your favorite DJ to share a night with so far?
Oh,
He
Well,
does
you
add
know-
an LOL behind it, so I hear the undertone.
right. I mean, I like, honestly, anytime I get to play on Twitch any of the days, there's so many amazing DJs on before me and after me. And, most of the time I'm like running around and setting up or running around and backing stuff up, but I'm listening. And DJ Timothy Callahan, he gets started off on Mondays, before the melodic set. Before Revive, and he's amazing, and then we got the Quad Squad on Thursdays, obviously. Susan Estera is on after me on Saturdays. So, I love them all. I mean, they all have a different sound and variety. So I can't choose. Sorry.
And what about real life? I mean, who's the most interesting DJ that you've shared the decks with? And I guess that question goes for all four of us. I mean, let's start with you, David.
I'm trying to, most of the time I don't do events where, we do tag teaming or,
I mean, what about after?
someone.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, most of the time I just go in, I spin, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
right. What about you, Curtis?
Oof. Wow. Well, ironically, I do a lot of sharing and a lot of tag teaming, especially when I do my own events. I love to have a lot of extra DJs playing because I want to get turned out too. I want to go out and dance just like anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
But who would be the most interesting? I couldn't say just one person. I do know. I can mention a couple of names right off the back. I mean,
yeah, be politically correct.
The most amazing. Okay. I have some of the most fun playing with Manny Ward, my former partner from Midnight Society, Eric Elias, who's doing his new thing now with Underground Records.
Mm-hmm.
Maria Dark, who is an amazing techno DJ out of New Jersey. Same thing with Bass Rockwell, who I'm trying to get onto Twitch. You guys need to see him. I play his stuff on my show. Just we Bass Rock and I will literally do sets together on controllers and literally play at the same time. So we're rocking two controllers with two decks with CDJs, and we're trying to make some sort of crazy mix of techno and tribal and all sorts of different things. It's a whole different thing. He's a beast, and I like playing with him too.
It sounds fun.
Wow.
I mean, what about you, Marco?
I mean, the most interesting. I mean, he was everything in one person. Was Peter?
Okay.
I mean,
that's true.
I shared the decks many times with him. He was not a friend of back-to-backs, so that was not his thing. In his strong Austrian accent, he's like, "Girl, I don't want to play back-to-back. No, you do you, I do me." I said, "Okay."
And
relax,
he sure enough did.
Calm down, Miss Rauhofer. Yeah, but I mean, being in the same booth with him and watching him and the emotions that he was able to create on dance floors. I mean, yeah, it's just forever grateful. Seriously. Yeah. How about you, Josh?
Oh God, I did. Well, I've had a lot of characters I've shared DJ booth with. I think my most exciting one from the Twitch is Paulo, where we did that spontaneous after hours back-to-back thing.
Oh, I remember.
During LA Proud. That was fun. That was the highlight, I think, of my weekend. Just because it was just should we do it? I don't know. Should we do it? And then we did it, and it turned out we turned it. It was great.
And can you guys imagine, if the COVID wouldn't be, probably the Twitch game would not be as strong. So that's another silver lining of this whole Twitch thing. But if many of us DJs would be living in the same city and would be able to just go into each other's house and do back-to-backs on Twitch, I mean, how cool would that be? I'm waiting for that day.
I'm waiting for that technology where we could just do it.
Yeah.
It's getting there. It's just that we have a little bit of a lag problem. Once the lag is dealt with, we can do a lot of things remotely. And yeah, I'm still looking for the day where I can have my friends come down here and we do a 12 to 24 hour stream right here from the Booty Lounge, because I know I have DJs who can just do it all night. And yeah, I want to do that badly. But,
I have a question that goes out to the three of you. Which I always ask every DJ that I meet is, what club, not party, which club that doesn't exist anymore and you never played in would you love to play?
Oh, you already know my answer.
A club that is done, that you can't go back to, and you unfortunately, for whatever reason, never had the opportunity to play. And you can only choose one.
Only choose one.
Only choose one.
Girl.
That one club where you think this would have been the best night of my life.
Seavox already got
me?
mine.
For me,
Yeah.
the original Sound Factory. I needed to do that.
That's a good one.
I just remember the very first time I went to New York City. I was doing after hours here in Boston. I was playing at the Loft, and you get your little dose of it, and you're thinking, oh my God, what on? I already have my Fierce After Hours party. What on earth could anyone do? Like I've seen it all. Yeah. As soon as I walked down that
Boom,
pathway, 1993 Gay Pride, I walked down that pathway and saw that enormous disco ball in the middle of the dance floor in a space so large I couldn't even believe. And that music at the time, Junior at the time, I mean, you had DJ Pierre's doing the wild pitch to everything. Armand was just about to break through. David Morales beats everywhere. Masters at Work.
Oh my God.
That night changed my entire life. Without that night, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. I was like, yeah, I wish that would be the one club. I would definitely want to do the Sound Factory, the original one. The second one's cute. The first one.
You just cheated. David Michaels, back to you.
Probably, I would say the Limelight. The
Yes.
I wasn't I wasn't around to experience that in New York City, but I have several friends who were around to experience the Limelight, and I've heard the stories. I've seen some of the pictures, and I just thought it's such an amazing era of music and party. Like, people just, I mean, first of all, we don't have clubs like that anymore, in a lot of places, and just that scene and the music, it's just, I think it would have been an amazing time, and I would love to play there, if I could have.
Yeah. Josh?
Go ahead, Curtis. What were you going to say? I'm thinking.
I was about to say, it's weird how that place is like a shopping mall now. Like, when I lived in New York, like, I lived a block away from the Limelight, so like it was very easy to get into that space and just party and get really blitzed and just know that you're only a block away from home. Cool. You can just like kind of crawl home. But yeah, I love the Limelight. That was a really nice venue too.
Joshy?
So it can't exist anymore, right? Like, there's no possibility.
Nope.
Okay.
There's no possibilities to go back to.
All right. I mean, it's got to be the Roxy for me.
Roxy.
Nice.
Yeah. In New York, I know there's other Roxys, but there's only one. There's only one in our world.
There's only one for sure.
And I would have wanted to play back in the day when there were like the club kids and all this other shit. That was fun. That would just, yeah.
Right. I mean,
when everybody walked in and just you had the pomp and circumstance when they walked through the door, honey.
Ooh, the Michael A. Leagues.
Rest in peace.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
anyway,
mine. Not that anyone cares, but mine would.
And you, Marco?
Yeah. So maybe I just asked the question because I wanted to answer it. And it was never about the three of you. But hey, no. Mine would be the garage.
Okay.
Mine would be the Paradise Garage. There's been so many. I'm a sucker for the old school house and really the originated, and just to be that a one night at the garage and listen to Larry Levan. And when I see the footage that exists, there's an amazing, and I don't know if you guys saw it, but there's a documentary called Maestro.
Oh yes, love that.
Oh my God, Curtis, I get chills watching that because obviously I'm European, so I've never been to the Roxy, I've never been to Limelight, I've never been to the Sound Factory. I've only heard of all these places because I haven't arrived yet. In the 90s, I was too young. I was in Europe, right? So we had the versions of that. There was It Club in Amsterdam and everything, but there's something about everything I see and read about the garage that's where it all started, right? I mean, that's where it all started, and that community and these live footages of people, and the drugs were different, the music was different, and just the way the mixes were like 12 minutes long, but of just one loop, and everyone was just in this static. I mean, yeah. So Paradise Garage.
Me and Paula joke about that a lot in our little text messages. We're like, "Oh, is this mix too long? It's 4 minutes."
Oh my god!
It's like I gotta shorten it down.
Oh my god! I have records where the intro are 4 minutes. My god!
Yes, I know. Just I feel like we're
so true.
We're living through history right now, you guys. I feel like people are gonna come back to this moment in time, and they're gonna be like, yeah, Roxy was cute, but guess what? People had to like survive during the great pandemic of 2020, bitch, on Twitch. And just like, these are the ones who made it through. Just like, oh God, I can't.
Yeah, so that's definitely that was definitely. These are 4 amazing clubs, though.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing parties, and we don't have that no more, and we will never have it because this new generation functions differently. There won't be a house, a safe place every Saturday to go to. It's sad, but it's the same with the music. If you think of it, the music was 12 minutes long because we were able to let go and just dive into this loop of 12 minutes, and then Junior would do a 15 minutes version of the 12-minute loop. You know what I'm saying? But it was building, and now the songs are 4 minutes. The same thing with club existence. Clubs come for a year or two, and then they're gone because people get bored.
Do.
Yeah, and we don't have clubs no more. We don't have clubs no more. We just have events.
We don't even have residencies. We don't have somewhere where like you know that Peter Rauhofer is going to be on Friday nights. This is where he's at.
Right.
And that goes for the new generation of DJs. They don't have a residency to learn how to play,
DJ,
how to open a dance floor,
how to pay your dues.
I saw an interview with Danny Tenaglia not long ago, and Danny Tenaglia was opening for Italian dude. Oh my god,
Pagano?
techno DJ. No, Italian.
It's
the one that just got stabbed by his dad. The one that just got stabbed by his dad.
Oh.
The hell do you guys watch?
Chris Levy?
No. He's German. I'll get.
Right.
Anyways, he's I'll get to the name. So he was opening for him. Danny Tenaglia opening for a brand new type of DJ that just came out of 5 years ago. And Danny said, I love to open. The responsibility, because I set the tone of the night. People underestimate the responsibility of an opening DJ. They just think, oh, he's just not as famous. That is just so not true. And that's the sadness of this new generation. They will never learn. Joseph Capriati. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus. Joseph Capriati.
Thanks, Gordon.
Thank you, Gordon.
I mean,
so
there's this,
No, go, please.
There's this whole massive thing about trying to fight to be the headliner, but we go back to like the 70s, the 80s, the early 90s. There's like this whole idea that like, the one DJ could be there all night. Like it is up to that one person to set the tone, to begin, to peak, and end. And they get a lot more time, a lot more freedom to do certain things. Whereas, like, there's this whole generation of people who only know you're coming in for your 1 hour set. You're coming in for your 2 hour set. So everyone's programmed to try to play as many records as they possibly can in that time. And they're always bangers. They're always, like, hits or anthems or whatever it needs to be. There's a lot less room for creativity and experimentation, which is like some of the things, any regular resident or any DJ who knows how to do those 6, 8, 10, 12, 14-hour sets, like Danny Tenaglia, like and Rauhofer, like they could play for hours.
Wait, and then here is my question or realization right now. It's funny though, because in our community, exactly, we play open to close. That in the straight world is not a thing.
1 hour sets.
Right.
1 hour sets, extended set is 3 hours. 4 hours is an extended set. Now they don't know how to play longer than 2 hours, and I feel like 2 hours as a DJ, I almost feel like I'm doing like my iTunes favorite songs, because I cannot.
No,
it takes me 45 minutes to an hour to get to know the crowd and create a thing called journey. They don't have that, right? That's why you go to these festivals and I feel so disconnected. I don't like these festivals because they come and they have 10 songs to play and they just, it's really great to see that we have a different kind of school of playing 7 hours. In New York, when you play at the recent parties, Meet and all these parties, it's open to close, one DJ. Yeah. And that takes balls to do so.
I feel like there's a difference, though. There's a difference between going to a festival and hearing the same person bang on speakers the size of meteorites for 12 hours versus going to, say, Club Cielo, right? Low ceilings, you're
very
intimate.
Different.
It's very different. And so I feel like it's up to the promoters to set that scene. They should know what the DJ, what his capabilities are, or her, what their capabilities are, what their sound is like, being able to program that, and then also being able to just bring the type of crowd who's willing to accept or be open to them taking you on a journey or taking you on at least a short road trip, girl.
But also, I don't know back in the days and how the promoters were back in the days, but a lot of promoters these days are not DJs. They don't come from a musical background. So they see quantity versus quality. They don't understand that one DJ, 2 is enough for the night. Most of them don't understand. So all of a sudden we have this fancy flyer. Wow, 7 DJs are playing. And that is just a disconnection throughout the night for the audience, because DJ number 2 has no idea what DJ number 5 is going to play, and DJ number 6 is playing the tracks that DJ number 1 already played.
Right. I think those types of lineups only really work if the promoter has a good idea of like the DJs themselves and how to connect them together. Because I can understand the allure of loading up a whole list of DJs, because it's like, oh my god, it looks impressive, and then you do get the people who are just like, oh my god, for the band, I get access to all of this for one price. It seems great. But if the promoter doesn't really know about the DJs, their sounds, their styles, and doesn't know how to line them up, kind of like a DJ, we kind of know how to line up our music. We'll line up the DJs the same way, and this one's gonna be good for opening. This one will be good for peak. This one will be good for right in between here. If they just pile them up like they're just there to spin and bring their crowds, then it's a mess, because everyone plays this, that, the other thing. There's no consistency in the sound, and the energies completely change too many times in order for it to be consistent.
What baffles me, and I think all 4 of us had that experience, is when you are actually in the club playing and the audience is receptive to it and they're all having a great time, but you still get the little devil in your ears saying, can you play more vocals? Can you play softer? Right. And where obviously client is king, you can't turn around and say, no, I'm not arguing with you. On the other hand side, I'm an artist and not a jukebox. But it baffles me that they don't trust the moment and they don't trust what they see. And because one person maybe come up and it's not their cup of tea, which is fine. You can't please everyone in the room, but it's challenging. It's challenging for us DJs, and that's the behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see. What we have to, and still look relaxed behind the decks, because they come to hear us and to see us, and we don't want to be stressed or arguing behind the decks and all these things,
Benji, can you play Despacito?
Yo, hang on a second.
Yeah,
hang on a second.
You got a cute mix of it. We know.
I've got this chick, this female. She must have been lost in the party. I was playing at Reload. Reload ain't that place, girl. She comes up to me while I'm playing, and she said, "Excuse me, can you play 50 Cent?"
Sure, hold on. Wait 2 hours.
I turned down the booth.
You got 50
I
cents?
was like, "Excuse me?" I was like, "What?" She's like, "Can you play 50 Cent?" I didn't even know how to react to that. I was like, "Yeah, sure, girl." Wait, hang on a second. I think I have a remix of that. Just go back. She was so happy. She went back to the dance floor waiting for it.
She heard it in her head too.
She said, "Shorty, it's your birthday."
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
So talking a bit about hold on. So talking a bit about this pandemic, right? We asked the girls last week, what are some new things that you've been doing, or what are some new things that you've learned? What are two new things that you have that you can take away from this pandemic that you can probably use towards your career in the future?
Well, just speaking for myself, like when I came into this whole thing of live streaming, like I had no idea about. I'm sure most of us, we didn't have any idea of OBS and how to work all this technical stuff. And I'm just, me as a person, I'm not tech savvy at all. And that was like a foreign. It was just like, I spent lots of time watching YouTube videos, tutorials. Susan Estera's helped me out a lot. I had a bunch of questions for her. Curtis Atchison helped me out tons as well. And so learning all of the tech stuff has been one of the things that I've learned. And then graphics as well. Like I don't do any type of graphic designing. It takes me 2 hours to figure out how to add a shadow behind text. Like that's where I was coming from. And so I spent some time learning like the basics of graphic design and how to make overlays and that kind of stuff. So, the tech stuff and graphic design are two things I would say that I've learned throughout this whole process.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Curtis?
I'm not sure if
you knew it all. You knew it all.
No.
It's not even a question. No, I wouldn't even say that. I mean, I'm just naturally a person who likes to experiment, and like, I jokingly say that like I jokingly call myself the Black Sheldon Cooper because I do have a tendency to be just very nerdy and just want to figure out how things work. But like the one
soft
thing
kitty,
about
warm kitty, little ball of fur.
soft pussy, warm pussy. No, I'm sorry, a cub. But,
oh wow!
No, you didn't.
And that's all because Benji Bradshaw is in the house.
I know.
I'm sure.
Benji, get out. You're 86th.
Benji, calling me Benji.
Benji, you're such a good influence on me. But like the one thing about this whole pandemic thing, it got me back into a mode where I felt more confident to just do whatever I felt. Like I would always try to second guess, third guess a lot of the things that I've learned. Like I learned the graphic design. I played enough with video. I started figuring out that I can bundle all these different little techniques together and then just try to put something out there, and I would get second, third, fourth thoughts about putting it out there. With Twitch and doing the streaming, it's like, what do I have to lose? If it works, it works. If it doesn't, like if it booty glitches or whatever it is, like, we have.
What is a booty glitch?
Surrounded by a community.
A booty
what
glitch.
Is a booty glitch? What's happening here?
Tell them what a booty glitch is.
Well, a booty glitch.
Do I need to get a lube?
Okay, calm down, y'all.
Well, it's not that crazy. But like, what sometimes happens is that like technical difficulties will happen during my stream. Like I kind of good at hiding some of it, but like there's like various things that glitch around here, and like sometimes I would be like, oh my god, what's going on? DJ Deanne called it a booty glitch.
Okay, booty, and because of the booty lounge, right?
Right.
Right. I didn't put anything together.
That was the perfect name. I thought that was the perfect name. So like, yes, we'd be calling them booty glitches. But yeah, the courage to be able to just get up there and just do it, and just do it the way you think will work. and just have an audience that's receptive to it. They give you positive feedback. It's not this nasty competition where it's like, oh, that sucks. You'll never make it. You'll never do this. No, people actually give you great feedback. I mean, I don't want to take up. I'll just say this real quick. I remember one of the first times I was streaming. I managed to meet this group of people who were checking out the stream, and they noticed right away certain audio things that were not working right. They were noticing certain things that I was like, yeah, please check that. They were really positive about what they were seeing. Like, we like what we see, fix this, boost this, and then like the
100%.
Metronomic Live crew, they were the ones who taught me that, and that's how I knew things were different. And
I hope everybody keeps this type of open, like, warm-hearted giving. I never knew people were so, like, honestly giving and just not all about me, you know. And I just hope, I pray that this is going to be the attitude that we all keep going for, at least for a couple of years. I mean, give it a few years, guys, you know. I mean,
please let's recover from all this.
Yes, please.
I for one know that I'm going to be taking all of these skills, all of this equipment that I paid money for, and I'm going to be probably starting a party, maybe, who knows, or at least helping other people start parties, you know, start doing something that's going to, like Marco said, let people have a home to go to on Friday nights or Saturday nights that they feel is theirs, you know. I think that's so important, and I think that, you know, we need to go back to the old school.
Oh yeah.
The thing is also, we underestimate me. I can't talk for anybody else, but I underestimated, you know, the beauty of Twitch and the fact that there's many people who are quarantining by themselves, who are not in a relationship, who are alone, who feel lonely, and they now have a place to go to constantly be surrounded by people, you know. Because yes, it's always the same faces, but that's because it's a community growing, you know. And in the beginning I was like, oh, it's just the same people, but then I understood, because it's having a home. And for a lot of people it'd be like, oh, I've had a bad day today, I'm by myself, and here we are able to in the moment talk with them, grab the mic and be like, yo, you know what, raise the glasses or whatever it is, crack a joke. But there is a responsibility that we have that we are not aware of, you know. And I find that is so great. And again, be able to listen to people that normally we wouldn't listen to, that we didn't know of or get to know. I mean, now I met you guys, Curtis and David, and we didn't know each other from before, you know. Right. And it's so exciting, and this is now a friendship growing, and it's because of COVID and because of Twitch and because of the love for music that we have. So it's just amazing. And with that being said, everybody on YouTube and Facebook, shoot us the questions. If you have questions, we have a little bit more longer to go, but shoot questions if you have. That is your last call. Last call.
For alcohol.
I just want to say.
Oh, shit.
She did not. I got my water. I'm ready to go with my electrolytes.
Oh, God. He was so LA. So LA.
Me. I am in Seattle now, thank you.
For 2.5 minutes.
I know. Like, isn't this awesome? Like, who's all right? So we got Seattle in the top left. We've got LA in the top right. We've got Boston in the top bottom left, and we've got New York in the bottom right. How cool is that?
It's just amazing.
Yeah, I mean.
And don't forget, we have people. I know someone from Germany just is watching.
Philippines. We got Brian Qua.
Philippines, Germany. I mean, shoot us a message,
London.
A comment. Where are you watching from? London. I know Miss Patty is in the house. Like
Benji Bradshaw. I swear to God.
If you were a donut, which would you be and why? Oh my God.
I don't want to know.
Joshua D would be a Boston cream.
Bitch, no, I wouldn't. I would be a cronut, the best of both worlds. Okay.
Work. See, I was gonna say something really kinky, say like a vanilla frosted, but then that just takes the whole thing together.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
This is brilliant. So Joshua, checked. It's 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 honey dipped.
Australia. We got one from Australia. We've got one from Toronto. Who else we got?
Nice.
Oh, Curtis. Okay. How do you find all the anime for your show?
Oh my God. So yeah,
There's no credits running, by the way. I don't see no credits.
No credits. No credits. I've been an avid anime fan for such a long time. I think it just kind of goes with like being a computer nerd. Mm-hmm. I think they go hand in hand. And like I've kept a lot of my videos, like a lot of my DVDs and things like that. Not thinking I was going to be using them for like, a Twitch stream or anything like that, but like I just love having it. And I have a really large DVD collection. I have VHS tapes that I've digitized. Mm-hmm. And it helps to have a kid that also loves anime, because then like, it keeps you watching, it keeps him engaged. And yeah, I mean, I have my collections, but then no, I'm an uncle. I'm helping to take care of my nephew.
Oh, that's
amazing. You're a gunkle.
Yep.
That's
Gunkle,
amazing.
yes.
He lives with you?
Mm-hmm.
That's
He's
amazing.
actually been on my show a couple of times, not on Twitch, but when I've streamed before in the past, I've actually had him down here along with one of the neighbors' friends, and I was like, and we waved at the camera, and I had them touching the DJ controller and doing some effect. It was kind of fun.
And how old is he?
He's 13 now.
Okay.
Wow. That's amazing.
Has he shown any interest in the DJing stuff or no?
Vaguely. I mean, he's more into the gaming right now. He loves Roblox, so maybe that's where he's going to go. He's going to lean towards that. But he likes the music. He comes down here and he kind of shakes his butt a little bit here and there. But online for anime, I use Crunchyroll. I use Retro Crush.
Crunchyroll? I eat a Crunchyroll.
Yes, Crunchyroll is a great space. Retro Crush is a great space. There's some other questionable spaces that I will not talk about, only because we're not promoting bootlegging.
No, we're not.
No, we're not. But I know of them.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Kiss anime. No, just kidding.
All right, well, we got it.
Now, really quick. Yeah?
Go ahead.
I just have one really quick question, and that's just a personal question that I have to Curtis, because I know that you are also a gamer, and I'm a gamer, and I love my PS4 nights. Which game are you on right now?
Okay. Puyo Puyo Tetris 2.
What?
Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. It's a puzzle game. There's two different puzzle worlds. You know what Tetris is? You know Tetris. Yeah. Well, there's also this really popular Japanese game called Puyo Puyo. Mm. Okay. In America, they brought it to the States initially as Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine in the 90s. Like, it was like this very it was a very twisted Japanese puzzle game, but it's taken off in Japan. It's huge over there. It has like a very small market, but it's getting bigger now, because what they did is they made a game where they put the two puzzle worlds together, and you can play people who play against Tetris players can play against these players who play Puyo Puyo. Mm-hmm. And they figured out a system so that both systems can exist and battle one another. It's actually, I mean, the characters are hyper cute and annoying, and that's kind of part of the fun. But the battles can be really intense. Mm. And this just goes to show how other games. I mean, I like the weird Japanese games too, like Bubble Bobble and stuff like that. I love the quirkiest stuff.
Got it. Figured. I definitely want to check that out, though. I just you should send me a link on Facebook or wherever. I want to check that out.
All right, cool.
Just out of curiosity.
We do have a question.
We have a question.
Yeah, it's from Brian Kwa, DJ Brian Kwa. He's in the Philippines. He asks, do you think it's possible and profitable for a circuit party to feature other genres other than tribal?
Now,
this is a safe space.
Honestly, I have
just
not
us
done a
watching.
Well, to be brutally honest, I have not played a lot of circuit parties. I did get a taste of it when I played some parties in Brazil. I did get into that for a little bit with my partner Eric back in for about 4 or 5 years. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I did not do a lot of the vast majority of them. I didn't play the white party once, the black party. I didn't play any of these events. So part of me wants to say it's possible, but I really can't really say with any type of like certainty.
Yeah.
I would. So I really don't know the answer to that.
I have to say that David, yeah, actually, Michael, what do you think first?
I was just gonna say, I mean, I don't really have experience playing the circuit parties since, I'm mainly a pop dance floor, DJ for the bars. And, I think, so I have to agree with Curtis. I can't really answer. I think it is possible, but I think going back to the conversation we had a few minutes ago, I think a lot has to do with, promoters dictating music genres that are played,
Yeah.
Sometimes I know for the experience on my end, I've had, situations where the room is packed and I've been playing, pop radio edits and, keeping the floor going. And I've been told to switch the genre, just, play more big room. And I was like, well, it's not really gonna work. But, ultimately I have to do that, and I lost the entire floor. So, that could work. That could work in any type of experience, where the promoter's told to change the genre. But,
Yeah.
I think it's got to be up to the promoter, and who knows? But I can't say for sure.
I have to say, a lot of DJs that we know collectively don't have managers. They don't have a representative there to act as bad cop.
That is an LGBTQ problem.
It's
that
a problem,
doesn't exist in the straight world.
Again, it needs to change. And here's why.
Right.
That person, instead of the DJ who is supposed to be this nice, easygoing person to go and play music, and they have a set genre or the set of couple of genres that they play, and that's their repertoire, and that's what they are there and they know how to do and that they get paid well to do. The manager is supposed to deflect or at least handle those things while you're in the middle of doing what you're paid to do and providing entertainment for someone and a group of people. That's my opinion. That just does, like Marco says, that doesn't exist in our world. And I feel
because our world, I'm sorry. No, go ahead, Josh.
Go ahead.
I just feel our world is entitled of getting stuff for free. Guest lists, I want to get in for free. I want to get drinks for free. And unfortunately people don't want to pay the commission. And the fact is that it's out there, but then why do DJs have to pay the commission? The club should pay the commission of an agent, not the DJ. I should get my fee. I shouldn't have to pay 20% out of my cut to pay an agent. That's what the client does. The club goes to an agency and has to pay commission fee at the agency, and we get our fee. It's not like that, unfortunately. It's like that in the electronic world. So we have to deal with everything.
I kind of feel like it has a different set of problems. And going back to Brian's question is like, I feel like genres are genres when you're picking out music on Beatport. Okay. When you're playing something on a dance floor, if you can mix those two tracks together without completely train wrecking and you feel like the vibe is right, play it.
Right.
Play it. I've gone to freaking trance music in the middle of my sets before. I've played Tiesto and everybody loses their mind. So, the
audience is there for it. The audience wants something different. It's still in the range of familiar, right? So still in the range of familiar, but like Josh said, there is ways to do it. And every DJ has a responsibility to find that out. What is your sounds, and how can you make it special, and how can you please everybody? Because some people like it harder, some people like it more vocally, and so you can mix. I've done it a lot of times that I like the essence of techno tracks, but the bass line is too heavy for that specific audience. So I take the bass line out, I add I lay it over with another kick, and there you have a circuit cha-cha drum with the great thickness of a techno track. But that just is homework, and that is also taking the risk. You got to take the risks.
But the best thing about technology today is that it makes it, things that like algorithm DJ are doing with their you can take you can do stems, you can take out like certain parts of a track using AI to like, you literally can take out like just the vocals or just the bass line.
But isn't that on Beatport a thing? Stems? I mean,
No,
they stopped doing it, I
you can
think.
do this live. You can do this with a track. any
Tractor
track.
has something like that too. I mean, they had a stems format. I'm not sure how much more they're supporting it, because there
No, I
wasn't
think
a
they
lot of
stopped.
labels that jumped on it. But
Yeah.
you can still make the technology. I mean, there's still stem makers, and there are actually people out there who do like, they get their tracks mastered with the idea of using stems because the technology still exists.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of it is just, once again, just trusting the DJ.
Yeah.
I think more people are trying to trust the promoters more than the DJ. And the thing is, the DJ is the one that's playing the music. So if you have a DJ who is creative enough, who can go from the hardest of the hard to the deepest of the deep and know how to transition it properly with the right EQs and the right like slow and steady mix. If it works, it works. And it's magical when it works like that.
Yeah.
And it goes back
an
to what
art.
Marco said about, a lot of these promoters aren't DJs. So, that even makes it more imperative to trust the DJ and trust the musical journey that they're going to take their room on.
Yeah. And that goes for any genre, that goes for any party, not just circuit parties.
No, this is not about circuit. This is not about a genre. This is just more likely maybe about our community, the LGBTQ world. There's certain ethics that happened over these years that are really hard to fight against it, and this is not about like who books it and who's not booking. Everybody deserves his job, but it's hard to do a job, and people don't know that, it's art. What we're doing is art.
And the whole pandemic has really led me to this one conclusion. We can all talk about it. We can all theorize about it. We can all complain about it. But I feel like until one of us or a group of us decides that enough is enough and does something about it, it doesn't have to be something big. It could be a collective of DJs who decide one day, I think we're just going to group up or do something together. A party, maybe a club, invest in one. Who knows? But you've got to start somewhere, and you've got to have some type of movement. Otherwise, it's just going to be the same forever, and nothing's going to change.
Right.
Or even worse, is it's going to get worse until you have no more clubs.
I really like what Susan Estera just said. Promoters are pressured by ownership for bar sales. So their way of thinking is banger after banger because they're a business, and they're not artistic, which is actually very interesting and very true because it's like a chain reaction.
Yeah.
It all probably really all starts just at the owner because the promoter rented that place and they have to have the certain numbers at the bar and the certain numbers at the door. And they think they get that through the music because if the people like the music, they go drink. So it's just a chain reaction but we all in the same club, we all in the same room, and there needs to be trust, But
Right. What's funny is that when you have that trust, you could have spaces like Vinyl in New York City, or even like Vinyl in New York City, Danny Teneglia playing all night, or you get the Body and Soul Party. Neither one of those venues that venue never sold alcohol, but that place was packed every week. Friday for Danny, Body and Soul for Sunday, without fail. They made bank and a half. Selling
But
water,
also,
Gatorade, and everything else like that, because like they allowed the DJs to really make that room and that night about the music and how they want to play it.
Oh, Patty Pie, you come on. You can't do this to us. Yes, I think she asks, can you not just create your business, like be your own promoter, etc.? And I'll sort of lead the answer to this one, but I'll let you guys touch on it. But like, there are DJs out there who become promoters, and in general, that's frowned upon in our industry. Why, I don't know. But there are examples of that being done. You guys want to add something to that?
Well, Mainframe was basically me as a DJ, making my own party, only because like well, and it was the same thing with labels. At some point I just ran into like this brick wall about why I wasn't able to get bookings, why I wasn't able to get certain things that I knew I could do. So at some point you just got frustrated and you said, well, let me just try it myself. I mean, the worst you could do is do a bad party. Oh, that happens a lot. You know, I've had plenty of times when I've only DJ'd for like, 5 people. 2 of them are the staff, one's the bartender. You know, I've done that.
Had that once,
and
twice.
And sometimes that sometimes it's much bigger. But you know, the only reason why I have a lot of what I have is because I was willing to take the risk and not just constantly knock on the doors of a promoter, begging and pleading with every demo every week, saying, "Can you put me on? Can you put me on?" I had to try.
YOLO.
So,
Yeah. I think for myself, being a resident DJ for many bars, I'm hired by the bar itself. So, and I have a lot of friends that are also in the same position, just hired by the bar themselves. So we're kind of like our own promoter in a certain respects. Like we're using social media, we're doing full blast throughout the week, up until the night of. And I know in my community of friends who are also DJs, that's a very common thing here in New York, unless you are playing an event that is put on by a promoter, at a larger venue. So I'm kind of my own promoter in a certain way already, doing the invites, sending things out on social media.
Is that it? How hard? How much time do you say you would put in on, like, say there was no pandemic, and you were sitting down for your normal day to day? How much time do you put in on social media to promote your night? Or your?
I mean, I probably, it depends on what I'm doing, or if I feel like it's a brand new event that just started. Obviously, I'm gonna spend more time promoting it. But I mean, it's an hour or two, during the day. I usually do it in the morning after I wake up.
Yeah.
Or afternoon after I wake up, because I always sleep late. But but yeah, I mean, I spend usually at least an hour.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, once a lot of the events that I've been doing have been established for a while, so I don't have to put in as much time. But definitely when I was starting something, at a brand new venue, I spent a lot more time. So.
Do you use any type of tools for social media? Like, I mean, that's one thing that I've been struggling with as a DJ. It's like, I can play music, I can do the tech all day long. I am worst. I am the worst at social media, and it's gone downhill from where I peaked, I would say, in my first career, the beginning of my career. And I'm not sure if it's because just like I've been so hyper focused on the music or what, but it's so difficult. So what do you guys use what do you find helps?
I just put things out. I mean, I used to use a tool where you could schedule your posts out and then have them, and I wasn't keeping up with it. And I just found the way it worked easier for me is just to post. And, I've used the sponsored ads on Instagram, Facebook, but those are really my tools.
Yeah. Curtis?
Yep. I mean, the tools on social media, I mean, just like what David Michael said, I mean, I've paid for sponsored ads as well. I did try to use things like Hootsuite because a lot of it is just like being able to like schedule posts so that you're not constantly typing out content over and over again. That would get really, really tiresome. So you would want to try to figure out a tool that way you could schedule it, like it'll take care of it yourself. You put in the content and it would schedule the posts so that not only you can advertise, but then you can do it in a way so that social media doesn't think you're spam and then try to delete and pause your accounts. Like, it's a whole science to it. There's dealing with all those algorithms and things like that. I don't do that nearly as much now. I mean, but I do remember I used to try to have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, which is looking really crappy now. I don't really use that as much anymore. at one point Google Plus, because everyone thought that was going to be the big thing, and that
Oh
kind
my
of failed.
God.
I know, but it's a lot of work, and you could easily.
It's a lot.
It's
a
a
lot of
full
work.
time. People don't
And-
realize it's a full time job. I mean,
And that's
DJing alone, and producing.
And going back to exactly. But that's the thing. Like going back to the question that Patty had about yes, the smartest way to go out there is you do your own party, because then you're your own boss and you get something going. But that's not as easy as it sounds, because then it's not about me DJing, it's about me doing a party, and that is so beyond stressful, and the pressure that goes with it, the organization, the flyers, the creatives, and then there's no funding, so you can have a team. It's a one-man show.
Just like all this, though, it's
and
crazy.
then now it's day of the party, you still stressed out, and you will be stressed out throughout your set because everything is up on you. So to me, that was never really an option if there's not a team behind you that does the work. Right. And you put your name and the money and whatever, but that's not as easy, And these days, to be even to be a DJ, and this goes in all worlds, it's not enough anymore. You have to be the producer. You have to be the remixer. You have to learn how to produce. That is not an overnight job. It's a lot easier than back in the days, because a lot of people don't do analog no more, right? You have the plugins, you have all that, but it takes years to finesse a sound.
And don't forget, you also got to go to the gym for like 6 hours to get your six-pack, or you don't get booked.
I must.
Ooh, the shade he's throwing at screen number 2. That's okay.
Girl, you know it just as well as I do. Don't try it, bitch.
No, it's so true. Yeah, but it is true. She's
gonna come for me on my show. No, the hell you didn't. Mm-hmm. Number 2. Who's number 2?
Number 2. Swipe number 2, please. But
you're so crazy.
Yeah, it's just so much going on. It's just in order to make it the way it should be. So yes, we can hire ghost writers and ghost producers and release all these great remixes that have 1 million clicks of views, but all we did was just wiring money over. Yeah. No pun intended. But so it's not easy. And for me, being a promoter was so far not an option. I wish I would change my thinking and work that much harder, but at the moment I just love being a DJ. I just love focus my time on that.
So maybe there's a middle ground. What if you were to become like think of it as a partner, right? So where you had a residency, or you had like a guaranteed spot once a month, but you not only do you DJ, you also help with promotion, or you help with organization on that other time of the month where you're not DJing. I mean, if you had like a collective of 4 DJs, you could literally have four times the power of the marketing, 4 times the power of the music. Very true. You know what I'm saying?
Very true. Very smart. Very smart. Maybe not saying it live on a show would be smarter.
Why?
Watch next month. There's like a club with like 4 promoters helping each other out.
It's called the Quad Squad. Yeah.
Okay. Watch. No, that is actually a very smart. That's actually a very smart thing. It's like you still get your residency, but when your night is not on, you help to promote and support the other nights like a job. I mean, that is very, very cool. I like that.
And
idea.
You share the profits. Look, and it's not like I'm giving out a secret of business here. It's a well-known fact that if you have competition, your entire industry thrives. So I've never understood the whole, we can't have this other party going on because it's just, no, we can't, and try to squash it, right?
Yeah.
Healthy competition. Right. Look, people in Asia understand. You've got G Circuit, you've got all these other parties, right, in maybe different countries, but they all are on the same weekend sometimes, right? And they all have 20,000 people at them. From all over the world. Okay, I don't understand.
I think we have a long way to go, because if we are arguing about Twitch streams
We're not,
and who's allowed to Twitch stream, and that has happened already in the past, then I'm sorry, we have a long way to go, because it's just craziness. But let them be them. Let them be bitter betties. We are not that, and that's why we are who we are, and we surround ourselves by positive vibes. And there's on each of our streams, there is no comments, negative comments. There's none. Even when your sound doesn't work, and I'm the king of technical issues. But
I'm always
I've
there to
never
help you,
gotten
boo.
always. But I've never gotten attitude from nobody.
Never.
The opposite. The opposite. They stay. They'd be like, "Yo, just log off and log on. We'll hear. We'll stay." And so let them be bitter for whatever their reasons have. Maybe they're raised that way. Or it doesn't matter. But
like I said, I hope it comes around. Like, I think we're on the same page.
I hope it will. So, and with that positive message, I think it's time for us to wrap it up. Episode 2. This was amazing, boys. This was, and I know that there's many people watching, and I see all the comments here, and people were really, really enjoying this, especially because you are two familiar faces on Twitch, and we don't know much about you other than the amazing music, and that goes also for me. So this was just a really great get together and just connecting and reflecting about the things that we love the most, which is music.
Absolutely.
Right?
But stay tuned. If you're out there on Twitch, Marco and I are going to choose somebody to raid, I think, in the spirit of raiding and keeping people going.
Yes,
so,
let's do the rating.
Yes.
After party. It's the after party.
Yes. All right. So who's on right now? So DJ Paulo is on, and 102 DLG Radio is on, ASOT or Insomniac. Who should we do?
Let's do Paulo.
Let's bro. All right. I like that. All right.
Let's support our community.
Yes,
Let's give him. Let's show him some love. We all know him. His name was mentioned here. Why don't we go over to Paulo?
Yes, so
the
Marco,
tribal bitch.
The tribal
The
bitch.
tribal bitch. The
So
Portuguese tribal bitch.
Yes. Marco, why don't you go on your Twitch, your dashboard, and you go ahead and raid yours, because we're on 2 channels right now. But I want to thank you, Curtis, as well, and David Michael. You guys have been awesome guests. I appreciate it. Okay. All right.
David's playing later on tonight, right?
Oh, yes. When are you playing, David?
Yes.
I will be playing 9 p.m.
Nice.
We're going live from 9 to 11, and
so like an hour and a half from now.
Susan Estera.
Yes, Susan Estera.
Yeah, it's an hour and a half.
Do it, Curtis.
Estera.
Yes. All right. Here we go. Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna
Thank you,
find
guys.
Paulo.
Find him.